Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and joining me here today in my classroom is, of course, my teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Say hello to everybody, Mr. Curtis.
Oh, thank you, Professor. I'm just feeling so well rested and excited to be here. I've been sleeping so wonderfully the last few weeks, and I just appreciate it.
Last few weeks? Oh, okay, so this has been going on since before our last lesson?
Oh, after I went and caught that, I spent so much time catching that Jigglypuff for class, and just grooming it and seasoning it and getting it ready for class, and then of course turning it into a cake pop after class.
First of all, why would you season a cake pop? Second of all, what?
Also, I know that's not true. I've been getting complaints left and right from other professors in the classroom about how all of their classes are falling asleep because of this Jigglypuff that we've let loose upon the class.
So Curtis, you must have caught and cooked another Pokemon that's not Jigglypuff. I don't know what some other round thing.
Are you sure it wasn't a Voltorb or Chansey or wait, what's the Happiny? A Happiny, maybe?
Oh,
Other ball-shaped Pokemon.
Curtis, was it a basketball, bud? Was it just like a ball?
Hey, it is a little bit orange and rigid to be. I always thought Jigglypuffs were a little bit softer.
So it's definitely a basketball.
Okay, yeah. So you cooked and ate a basketball, you idiot. Good job.
Congrats.
Good job.
Okay. Also in the classroom today, we have our trainer in training, Corbin. Please say hello to everybody, Corbin. Introduce yourself.
Everybody, Corbin. Trainer in training. I'm trained 40 weeks in and still not close to getting my trainer's license, and that upsets me a little bit.
Not even a little bit close. You have so far to go. But hey, that's great. That means you have the joy of learning about Pokemon for the foreseeable future.
It's never gonna end. Can't wait.
Yeah, honestly, we just keep finding more Pokemon. Like, it's pretty crazy. By the time I finish one full run through of my lesson, they've already found 100 more Pokemon. And
we're never going to stop finding them. There's hundreds of regions around the world and thousands of Pokemon.
We learned from Raichu's Pokedex entry that there's a region called India that appears to have some kind of elephants.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, that was crazy.
Can't wait till we find them and indoctrinate them into the Royal Pokedex Society.
Yeah, and then I mentioned also there was the Vundava region. I heard about them. Yeah,
that was random noises that you made up, so that's not real.
Well, you never know.
Hey, do you guys know what we do here in this classroom? Just checking. I was wondering if you know exactly what it is that we do, because I know you're here every week, but do you actually...
I usually sit here while you demean me probably about 45% of the time, and Mr. Curtis usually kisses your ass, and I usually do well on at least half the quizzes, but then you tell me that I don't, and it make me feel bad about taking so long to complete this class, even though there's probably over 900 lessons right now.
Okay, but more generally speaking...
I know I'm here to take your dictations for your... biography that I'm going to write.
You're extremely good at taking my dictations.
That's right.
Why'd you pause, Mr. Curtis or Mr. Professor?
That's Mr. Professor to you. But no, just for everybody, just a quick reminder is that this is the class where once a week we come together and we learn about all the Pokedex entries for one specific Pokemon. And today, that Pokemon, I'm just so excited. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. We're learning about Wigglytuff today, everybody.
Woohoo!
Now,
tough it up.
Yeah, tough it up, tough it out. Really, you really gotta tough this one out.
Tough it up.
Tough it up, tough it out, tough it around, tough it down, tough it up.
So I'm gonna go. I brought one here with me today. I know it's rare that I bring the Pokemon to class, but I figured this is a special occasion. So let's go ahead.
Is this the Jigglypuff from last week that put us to sleep that you evolved?
No, listen. I cannot get my hands on that Jigglypuff. I don't know it. Every time I'll walk around a corner and I'll see it at the end of the hallway, but by the time I get to the end of the hallway and I go around the corner, it's just gone. It's nowhere to be found.
Wow, what a horror movie. I hate it.
I know. It's giant wavering eyes is terrifying.
Jeez.
The way they ripple like a stone dropped on the surface of a pond.
Yeah, I'm about to enter a flashback.
Oh, jeez. Let's see Wigglytuff, please.
Yes, okay, here is a Wigglytuff.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Oh,
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not quite as cute as Jigglypuff. No offense, but
Really?
it's
I don't
cute.
know. I would say it's
oh,
cute.
hey, ooh, it's getting a little bit bigger.
No.
Oh, hey, ooh.
Hey, okay, everybody, calm down. Okay, calm down. We might have angered it
You
a
better
little
take
bit.
that back about what you said about it not
look,
being
you're
as
just
cute.
you're just as cute. I'm sorry, just as cute. I apologize.
Oh, it is so. Oh, it's so big. Oh, it's pushing
I'm
over
sorry.
the ears.
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
pushing.
Oh God,
sorry.
it's pushing. Oh God, it's pushing into the
beautiful.
walls.
You're beautiful.
Corbin, rub it gently between its eyes, quick.
I can't breathe.
What? What did you say?
Rub it gently between its eyes.
Take this. Okay, it's going down. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down.
God.
Okay.
Oh, I feel so much better now.
Oh God.
Oh,
Mr. Curtis, what did you do?
I can breathe. I don't know. You seem to just make it angry when you
I didn't do anything.
when you said it wasn't as cute as a Jigglypuff.
Don't say that. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
No,
It has very big ears.
okay,
It can hear you.
you're just as
Sorry.
beautiful. Every bit. Every bit.
Okay, before I put Wigglytuff away, is there anything? What are the key differences here between Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff?
Well, it's not quite as short and stacked and round. It's a little more oval shaped, and
It's very
got,
much
like,
a bean. This is an entire bean that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, it's more of a bean shape, the bean,
Yeah.
if you will. The two biggest things are much longer ears, and Wigglytuff also has a white belly and mouth. It's kind of like an eggshell colored.
Yeah, definitely. Hasn't evolved fingers, hands, or toes yet. Still just those little weird nubby things coming out of its
Still got
its
those
chest.
elongated hand nipples or whatever those are on its
whatever.
body.
Who knows what it uses them for?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's anything you want to add there, Mr. Curtis? I think Corbin did a pretty good job, but if there's anything,
No, I just there was, even though I was almost getting suffocated to death by the ever expanding body of an inflating Wigglytuff. It was very soft. and
yeah,
very,
it was. That's a very good observation. Wigglytuffs are very,
fluffy.
very well known for their luxurious fur. In fact, the fur is very highly sought after.
Being suffocated by an inflatable Wigglytuff, not one of the ways that I would think I would almost die in this class, but it was kind of enjoyable.
Yeah, I would be okay with it, honestly.
I'd rather have that than be like burned alive by a Charizard.
Oh, yeah. Well, you wouldn't be burned alive. You'd be melted because, of course, they melt anything with their breath.
Well, not anything.
Anything.
I mean,
They'll
okay,
melt.
Maybe.
Anything that's a solid will turn to a liquid after it encounters Charizard's breath. We've gone over this plenty of times.
Yeah, I don't think it can melt a gas.
You're right. It can't because it's not a solid. I said that.
Well, it said anything. Anything is gas is anything.
If it can melt anything, the thing has to be solid and
Didn't
then
say that in the
transfer
Pokédex
into a
entry.
liquid.
Didn't
It
say
doesn't
that.
need to. It's implied. That's implied.
All right, listen, we're running in circles here. You're just chasing my tail.
I melt liquids all the time, so I don't know.
Mr. Curtis, shut up. Look,
So-
we're here to talk about Tough over here.
Yes,
So let's
Wigglytuff. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put Wigglytuff back into her Pokeball. I think she's had enough time out here.
Bye. You're just as beautiful, I promise. She's not quite as beautiful, but she's close.
Wow, I didn't put her away yet. She's still right here. She can still hear you.
Oh, put her back in, please.
Okay, she's in the Pokeball. She's in the Pokeball.
Geez.
Okay, let's get to the reason why we're here. Let's talk about some Pokedex entries. Starting, of course, in the Kanto region. This one says, the body is soft and rubbery. When angered, it will suck in air and inflate itself to an enormous size.
Wow.
Yeah, true. We saw it.
No way.
Saw it
Yeah, we saw
firsthand.
that.
Yeah.
Wow.
The next one says, its body is full of elasticity. By inhaling deeply, it can continue to inflate itself without limit.
Ooh, without limit.
Without limit, yes.
The sky's the limit. Wow.
No, there is no limit. It can keep going.
Big as a house.
Big as the galaxy.
Wow.
I know, crazy. Honestly, unbelievable, really, if you ask me.
I don't believe it. That's a little.
Listen, it's in the Pokedex. Professor Oak is the one that wrote these, all right? So if you got a problem, take it up with him, okay? I can get it on my cell right now. We're good friends. We're very good friends. He told me himself. He said, Professor Jacob, you're my good friend. He said that.
I don't think that doesn't sound like something
Really?
he would say.
Yes.
I believe it. I mean,
Yeah.
Professor Jacob's my best friend, so I can't imagine him not being the best
I
friend.
thought Professor Oak wasn't into technology. I thought he didn't have a phone.
let's read the next Pokedex entry here. Its soft and supple skin allows it to expand like a balloon.
You talking about Mr. Curtis or the Wigglytuff?
No.
Ooh.
Are you saying that Mr. Curtis's skin is soft and supple?
I would say it's soft, supple, and it stinks. Mr.
My
Curtis
skin,
smells.
no, my skin is hard and rigid, just like a carapace.
Jagged, if you will.
That's right.
Mr. Curtis, you definitely need some lotion.
One might say I have an exo skin.
He's like a desert floor, just cracked and rugged.
Oh God. Damn.
Okay, let me finish reading this entry. It's
Please, don't let me stop you.
Its soft and supple skin allows it to expand like a balloon. If it gets angry, it inhales and inflates itself steadily. Yeah, so with a constant increase in size, doesn't accelerate or decelerate at any point. It's just a constant, steady increase, according to that entry. All right, let's read the Johto region Pokedex entries. The first one says, their fur feels so good that if two of them snuggle together, just imagine that for a second. Just imagine two Wigglytuffs snuggling together.
That's cute.
It's so cute. It's so cute. Do you think it's like face to face, or do you think they like flip around and like?
I think they probably, if they snuggle, I think one of them is like probably like facing one way and the other one's facing the opposite way. Like I think they're belly to belly, but I think they're facing the opposite directions, but facing each other.
There's definitely there's
Wait,
definitely
what?
a perfect.
Like there's 69ing?
What? Is that what that's called?
No, they're definitely
Belly to belly facing each other but opposite directions.
Yeah, that's what it's. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen,
Yeah.
Mr. Curtis, please, if you could, we're over here just trying our best to tessellate these Wigglytuffs, all right? And you come in here with your nasty thoughts. I don't like it. I don't like it in my classroom.
That's Curtis. That's a little much. That's a little much.
I'm sorry, Professor. Listen, it's just it's just one of the things you come across when you run a Pokemon breeding farm like I do. You know, just the crazy.
Well, I thought your
moves
uncle
that
did.
Pokemon.
I thought your uncle was the one that runs it.
I mean, yeah, of course. My uncle's Pokemon breeding farm upstate,
Yeah,
up region.
Just a slip of the tongue.
That's right. Just a slip of the tongue.
Are you trying to tell me the Pokemon on your farm 69? I can't get that image out of my head.
Oh gosh.
I can't get it out of my head.
Listen, Corbin. With a Ditto, honestly, any number is possible. you could be 71ing. You could be 55ing. Like anything.
Well, hear me out.
Go for it.
32ing.
Sorry, I'm gonna finish this entry. Their fur feels so good that if two of them snuggle together, they won't want to be separated.
Aww.
It's kind of a weird thing to put in a Pokedex, but whatever.
If you try to separate them, they'll go rabid and bite your hand.
If you try to separate them, they won't want to. Okay, next one says, it has a very fine fur. Take care not to make it angry, Corbin. Or it may inflate steadily and hit with a body slam.
Ooh.
Yeah, although I don't think it increases in, like, mass. It's still the same weight, right? So I don't know why inflating itself to a larger size is going to make its body slam better.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it covers more surface area, so it has greater accuracy when it body slams.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's harder to get away from.
Right.
Yeah, you're looking at like a hot air balloon sized Wigglytuff.
Yeah.
And it's coming down
exactly.
on you. Like, you can't really get away from it. I can see that.
Of course.
Okay, the next one says, the rich, fluffy fur that covers its body feels so good that anyone who feels it can't stop touching it.
I can't.
You cannot stop touching it. Like,
I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
It's great.
You gotta keep your hands on there. It's like once you pop, you can't stop, all right?
Yeah. Heard that before. So like, we were talking last week a little bit about pillows and cushions. Do you think we need to have we should start a company where we sell and manufacture Wigglytuff fur blankets.
There's actually very many of those out there, so it would be a hard market to kind of break into.
Never mind.
It's a very big brand. All right, that does it for the Johto region. Let's, of course, move on now to the Hoenn region. The first one says, Wigglytuff has large, saucer-like eyes. The surfaces of its eyes are always covered with a thin layer of tears. If any dust gets in this Pokemon's eyes, it is quickly washed away.
Okay, I don't know why we need to know that.
It makes me think that Wigglytuff don't blink.
Huh.
Like, they never blink.
Maybe Mr. Curtis is a Wigglytuff, because he never blinks.
But it's not... I've definitely seen Wigglytuffs blink before. I think they do blink.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. They just seem like they cry a lot. I can relate.
I guess this is a weird thing for them to be able to do, right? To be able to, like, to have these constant tears in their eyes. And this is the only Pokedex entry that mentions it too. There's nowhere else where it talks about its watery eyes. It's basically Professor Birch was like, yeah, this little bitch cries a lot.
I think he just found one that was really sad, and he just assumed all of them were like that.
Yeah, he found one that had horrible allergies.
He just assumes all of them have watery eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, the next one says, Wigglytuff's body is very flexible. Like a ditto, am I right?
Yeah.
By inhaling deeply, this Pokemon can inflate itself seemingly without end. All right, so Birch here restrained himself. He didn't say limitless. He said seemingly without ends. Okay, I hadn't finished reading this Pokedex entry. By inhaling deeply, this Pokemon can inflate itself seemingly without end. Once inflated, Wigglytuff bounces along lightly like a balloon. Like a hot air balloon, maybe, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Maybe. Mayhaps. Its fur is the ultimate in luxuriousness. Sleeping alongside a Wigglytuff is simply divine.
Oh.
Simply divine.
Can you imagine being curled up inside of a Wigglytuff? Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
just with two snuggling Wigglytuff. So the next one here says, this is still in the Hoenn region, it says, its fur is extremely fine, dense, and supple. The exquisitely pleasant fur conveys an image of luxury.
Only rich people have one?
Only rich people have Wigglytuff fur. You know, that's something that we learned a lot about with Clefairy and Clefable, is that they're extremely rare. But we don't really, and honestly, Ninetales and Vulpix too, right? Or maybe I'm misremembering. But for this one, it hasn't talked about how rare they are. Like, it hasn't said like, oh, you never see a Wigglytuff. They're so rare. So I feel like you can have a bunch of Wigglytuff, and you can just have as much of their fur as you want.
Well, it seems like only rich people get it, you know?
Yeah, because it's luxury. Well, luxury is just a fake, you know, it's a fake state of mind created by big Wigglytuff business trying to sell us on their fur and make as much money off the people that they can.
Hold on. There's either one of two options here. Either Wigglytuff or Jigglypuffs are really, really hard to find in the wild. That's why only rich people had them, because they can afford to go out and find them, I guess, and spend the money for it. Or number two, Jigglypuffs and Wigglytuffs are gold diggers, and they only want to live with rich trainers / rich entrepreneurs, because they know that they can get the lavish lifestyle that they want. In exchange, they give that rich person
all
soft
the
cuddles. All the snuggles and cuddles they can ask.
Yeah, all the snuggling they can get. Okay, that does it for the Hoenn region. Let's move on to the Sinnoh region. Its fur feels sublime to the touch.
Ooh.
It can expand its body by inhaling air.
Ooh. That's it, huh? Okay.
That's the most boring way to say that. Okay, yeah, that does it for the Sinnoh region. I'm glad they got their 2 cents in.
Okay.
All right, there is a unique one here from the Unova region, so I'm going to go ahead and read that. It's very similar, but slightly different. It says, its fur feels so pleasant. Those who accidentally touch it cannot take their hands away. So, like, when it says cannot, I know it means, like, you know, I can't stop it. It's like, once you eat one chip, I can't stop eating them. Like you can stop, but you don't want to stop. I know that's what it means, but it really makes me think, like, if you accidentally touch it, you are locked on to this Wigglytuff for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. You will never be free from this Wigglytuff.
You're trapped, man.
Yeah,
your hand gets absorbed by the Wigglytuff fur.
Yeah, like adhered, like you're chemically bonded to this Wigglytuff. Your hands have become part of this Wigglytuff skin. You cannot take them off.
Yes.
Anyways, that's the vibe that I get from it, or at least I think it'd be funny if that was the vibe that they were going for.
Right.
But yeah, that's it for the Unova region. Of course, Kalos is basic, so they don't have anything new to add.
Lame.
I know. Hey, we'll get there eventually. Alola, however, of course, comes in with, just some slamming entries. So let's go ahead and read
that's
this.
what I'm talking about.
It sheds its fine fur when the seasons change. The fur is gathered and spun into luxurious yarn.
Luxurious.
Really? All that lusciousness, you're using it for yarn, not a coat?
Well, I mean, the yarn is then made into a coat, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a coat out of yarn?
I think so.
Sounds kind of weird.
I'm sure you can
I think
make
of
other
yarn
kind of
used for
fabrics.
arts and crafts, not making coats. But, whatever.
It's up to you. You can do a bunch of things with Wigglytuff fur. But hey, this tells us that we don't need to, skin a Wigglytuff to get its fur. It just naturally,
Do you hear that, Mr. Curtis? Do you hear that? You don't have to skin it.
I would like you to. Can you repeat that back to me?
knows-
Actually,
Everybody knows that the freshest and most luxurious Wigglytuff fur is freshly skinned.
No,
it's not. No, it isn't.
Curtis, that is an illegal trading practice by Team Rocket and all the Team Aqua and Magma.
Listen.
You can't
We
do
all
that.
know what happens to the Wigglytuffs that have the least luxurious fur.
I don't
they get
know.
skinned by Curtis, I think, is where this is going.
I didn't say that, but you know how that is.
I don't think
Everybody
that that's
knows.
Do you seek them out? Do you have a bounty hunter looking for Wigglytuffs with?
He doesn't
with
need
fur
one.
that's-
He can smell them.
he does it himself. Okay.
That's right.
He's like,
I smell it tough.
that Wigglytuff's fur is barely even fine, dense, or supple.
I can't even keep track of how many laws that you violated at this point, Mr. Curtis.
It's near
That's right.
constant with him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. This one says, as it inhales, it expands and expands and expands. That's three. That's three expands there
And
for
expands.
you. No, only three. Just three. Wigglytuff compete to see which one can inflate itself the most.
Well, that seems kind of counterintuitive, since I think one of the very first Pokédex entries that you read us said it can inflate without ending.
Yeah,
Right,
well, without
right.
limit was the term that
Right,
we use
without
here in
limit.
Kanto. So
Okay.
I don't know what they're seeing. Which one can get the largest before they accidentally tip the Earth off of its axis? I don't know.
I guess. Or
Yeah.
who can get to a certain size the fastest? I can see that.
Maybe it's like
Who
a
can
race.
get to be the size of a small moon the
First.
quickest?
All right, the next one says, thanks to its bouncy body and fine fur, this Pokemon is sought after.
Yes.
Holding one in your arms while you sleep feels great. Seems like an opinion, but okay.
No kidding.
The last one here from the Alola region says, when it gets angry, it inhales with all its might, and its body gradually inflates. So I guess it's kind of like a slow process. Now this one finally puts a number on it. It says, sometimes they can grow 20 times larger.
Okay.
So that puts a hard limit on it.
See, I'm more inclined to believe that than it can keep growing forever.
Yeah. And we did say before that it was seemingly limitless.
I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
20 times larger includes the without limit criteria.
Yeah, that is a good point. Sometimes they can grow 20 times larger. It doesn't say that they can only grow to 20 times larger.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, and let's be real here. I mean, Wigglytuffs are no small, little, tiny, Pidgeys here. Okay, they're pretty hefty size by themselves.
I mean, they're 3 feet tall, so
yeah, and
okay.
3 feet wide.
that's what, 60 feet?
And 3
It
feet
can
deep.
go.
feet, yeah.
It can increase itself to 60 feet. That's pretty
big.
intimidating. That's pretty scary.
That's a big
That's
tough.
pretty big.
It's a big tough.
That's a Wigglytuff if you ask
Yeah,
me.
no doubt. No doubt.
All right, that does it for the Alola region. Let's go ahead and read from the Galar region. It says, the more air it takes in, the more it inflates. I mean, duh, that's what inflate mean. Thanks, Galar, Pokey professors. Who is it over there in Galar? Sonia? Is it Sonia?
Sonia, maybe?
Sonia and
Sonia and that old lady. I don't remember her name.
Well, Sonia and her assistant Hop. Now.
Yeah, Hop doesn't do anything. Hop's
Hop's a
runs
fucko.
around.
He's a bitch.
Listen,
Dude,
Hop,
he constantly tries to get everybody to know about type differences and then ignores them himself.
Yeah, he's kind of a loser. My cousins that live over there in the Galar region make fun of him. He's
That's
an idiot.
me. He is like second to the champion though in skill. So
Well, I mean, does that really mean anything?
he pays his assistant dues. Okay, he donates to, or he brings a casserole to the annual luncheon. You know, there's not much more I can say about Hop. Okay?
Yeah, but he's a fucking nerd.
they're all nerds. Take it from me, they're all nerds.
That's true.
I mean, you know.
Okay, let me finish reading this entry. The more air it takes in, the more it inflates. If opponents catch it in a bad mood, it will inflate itself to an enormous size to intimidate them. Okay? The last one
that makes
says...
sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we kind of read that already. It kind of makes sense. It's proud of its fur, which is fine and delicate. In particular, the curl on its forehead has a texture that's perfectly heavenly. Yeah, so curl on its head.
So that's even softer than the fur on its body.
Yeah, texture-wise, yeah, sure.
Wow.
All right, so there are no unique Pokedex entries for Wigglytuff. So, and since I didn't ask either of my students to provide me with a essay today, I'm going to go ahead and read this unsourced, uncredited article that I found myself. It talks about the biology of a Wigglytuff. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to decide whether or not like the stuff it says is true from what we know and what we've learned.
Yes.
From
Let's
the
fact
Pokedex
check
entries.
it.
All right. Wigglytuff is a Pokemon. All right.
Oh, well, I think that seems
Yeah,
factual.
very good.
So far, so good. We're just 100% right now. Wigglytuff is a Pokemon with a bean-shaped body and stubby arms and legs.
Yep.
Yeah, very scientific. I like it.
Yeah.
There is a fluffy, curled tuft of fur on its head, which is described as perfectly heavenly. It has long, rabbit-like ears. So,
What is that?
I think it meant to say Scorbunny, I think is...
Oh, okay. I didn't know what
yeah,
the hell a rabbit was. Sorry.
or a Bunnery, maybe.
Maybe.
A Lopunny.
Yeah, I was going to say a Bunnery, probably.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a type of Pokemon, like Fox type or the Seed type or whatever. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's a Bunny
The
type.
fire type.
Yeah. Bunny type.
Bunny, yeah. I mean, we have, like, dog-like Pokemon, apparently, so...
Yeah, so yeah, maybe one of them.
Anyways, it has long rabbit-like ears with black insides and slightly lighter color at the tips. Its large blue eyes are covered in a layer of tears that quickly washes away any debris. It is covered in pink fur with a white belly. This fine layer of fur is so soft that those who touch it, including other Wigglytuff, will not want to stop. As a result, Wigglytuff is a highly sought-after Pokemon because of its bouncy body and fur.
Yes.
It sheds seasonally, and people gather the fur to spin into yarn. It is proud of its fine and delicate fur. It goes on to say its body is soft and rubbery, allowing it to inflate by inhaling. Wigglytuff can inflate itself up to 20 times larger. I mean, it can sometimes reach 20 times larger. It doesn't say that that's the limit. In fact, it says...
Yeah, maybe 30, maybe 50 times. Who knows?
It does go on to say it has no limits to how far it can inflate. So, okay, they did include that.
I don't know about that still.
I mean,
I think so.
like, what can I say? I can only say what the Pokedex say, so.
Yeah, true.
Anyways, Wigglytuff, while it is inflated, it is able to move by bouncing or floating. It competes with other Wigglytuff to see which one can inflate itself the most. Should it be caught in a bad mood, Wigglytuff will inflate itself to an enormous size in order to scare away its opponent.
That's what it tried doing to me.
Yeah, it
Well,
did.
I
Well,
think
I think it was trying to
more
crush
tried to
us.
suffocate us.
Yeah,
but-
murder us, I think. Being the result of an evolution via evolution stone, Wigglytuff. Oh yeah, I don't think we mentioned this. Wigglytuff evolves with a moonstone, just like Clefairy and Clefable, and Nidoqueen and Nidoking. So like all those.
Well, damn, they're all coming from the moon. That's cool.
I know. Well, I mean, not necessarily. The moonstone doesn't come from the moon. It just looks like the night sky with the moon. So it's not from necessarily
full of that
from the
moon juju energy.
Yes.
Kinda. It does appear to have some kind of energy. Whether or not it comes from the moon, inconclusive.
Moon juice, right? It's got moon juice in it.
No, it's not full of moon juice.
Okay.
Anyways, being the result of an evolution via evolution stone, Wigglytuff is rarely found in the wild, though they can be found in vivid green plains and grassy fields.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, that does it for all the information that we have on Wigglytuff. So, I mean, you guys know what this means. So
It's time to end the class, right?
no.
Let's
I mean,
all sit around. The
honestly,
classroom.
if you ask me, it's time. This is when we really start the class. I mean, really, this is the beginning.
Pop quiz. Oh man,
It is a pop quiz. That's exactly
Forgot.
right.
Oh, I'm excited. My favorite part of the class.
Oh, hey, finally, someone who gets it.
Mr. Curtis, you just looked like you weren't happy about the pop quiz either. That as soon as the professor perked up, you did too.
No, listen. As soon as quizzes, I love quizzes.
Okay.
You heard it here first, folks. As soon as quizzes, I love quizzes.
That's right.
Jeez. All right,
Perfect.
let's get on with it.
English. Okay. Go ahead and pull out your Rotom laptops, put away your Pokedexes, pull out pens, pencils, paper, maybe a calculator, a ruler, perhaps, maybe for this one.
I have a Bluetooth speaker. Do you need that?
You know what? I'd like one of those. Sure, yeah, go ahead.
here you go.
Pass it up. Thank
There
you.
you go. It's kind of heavy. There you go.
Oh, it is that. Oh,
God. There you
jeez.
go.
Okay.
There you go.
Ow. Yeah, it is heavy. I don't need it for the lesson, but I think I might use it when I go home.
Okay.
Okay. Is everybody ready?
I am ready.
Oh,
Sure.
Ready to rock and roll and float like a Wigglytuff. Let's go.
Question number 1. What is the maximum size Wigglytuff can inflate itself to? Maximum size, please.
What language is that, Mr. Curtis?
No, that's my thinking noise.
All right, both of the answers are in. Of course, the question was, what is the maximum size a Wigglytuff can inflate itself to? Corbin responded with, there is no maximum size according to the Pokedex entries. Yes, I mean, all of these answers are going to be according to the Pokedex entries, but...
Hey,
yes.
I'm just saying I don't believe it, but the Pokedex says it. Whatever.
Okay,
Who might argue?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mr. Curtis says, Wigglytuff has no maximum size. It can Wigglytuff has no maximum size it can expand to! Exclamation point. Its size is unlimited when Wigglytuff starts to expand. That second sentence really seems redundant.
Yeah,
I think
you should dock some
But
points for that.
Listen, I just want to be very clear that there is no limit when Wigglytuff starts to puff.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I guess so. You know what? Sure. You know what? I will accept that rhyme. You both get full marks. All right, let's move on to question number 2. Which part of the Wigglytuff has the fur with the best texture? Most dense, supple, luxurious, if you will. Fine, flexible.
All the adjectives you can think of.
All right, both of the answers are in. The question was, which part of the Wigglytuff has the fur with the best texture? Corbin responded with the fur tuft on its head. And Mr. Curtis responded with, while all tough fur is soft and supple, the forehead tuft is the softest and the fluffiest. Yes, so the tuft on its forehead is, I think, we said that the texture is perfectly heavenly, is the phrase that we used.
Facts.
Also, fluffiest and softest.
Yes,
And
exactly.
supplest and wispiest.
Well, not
And
wispiest.
tuftiest.
And
It is very tufty.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's not a word.
Would you call it tender though?
I think so.
Yeah,
Tender
sure.
or
I think so.
tough?
I would
Sure.
call it tender.
Maybe.
Okay. Question number 3. When is the best time to collect Wigglytuff fur?
Curtis, be very careful about how you answer this. I better not see anything about skinning it in your answer.
Let the man answer, all right? Don't give him any hints. All right, both of the answers are in. The question, of course, was, when is the best time to collect Wigglytuff fur? Corbin responded with, the best time to collect Wigglytuff fur is after it sheds its old coat. Now, Curtis responded with, the most humane way to collect Wigglytuff fur is when the seasons change and it is shed.
Mm-hmm.
It is shed. Okay.
It has.
When the fur is shed.
It was worded weirdly.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I read that. I thought the it was Wigglytuff.
When Wigglytuff turns into a shed, that's when you collect its fur.
Okay. So
the most humane way to collect Wigglytuff fur is when the seasons change and it's shed.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So you see, the key word I was looking for here, or the key phrase, is changing seasons, right?
Okay.
So that was the answer that I was looking for. Yes, it's after it sheds, but there's a specific time when it sheds, and it's when the seasons change.
So it sheds at 4 times a year, I guess?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just count that.
Whenever the seasons change. So I'm going to give you half points for that.
Why don't we just count the whole thing? I think you know what I meant.
I'll take a look at the whole thing, and I'll only give you half points because
I think you should look at the whole thing and then say, "Hey, I'm going to give him full points for that whole thing." I think that's what you should do.
looked at the full thing.
Excuse me, Corbin. Are you arguing with the professor?
I'm not the one that skins Wigglytuff, so how about you shut that big hole in your face, Mr.
All right,
Curtis?
that's whataboutism. It
nothing
doesn't apply.
Nothing has been proven in a court of law. Okay.
I mean, you did admit to it. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you kind of hinted at it.
I did no such thing.
Okay. So let's read. There's one last question here. All right.
Yes.
Now this is going to be one of those essay questions. All right. So I'm going to want you guys. There's no specific answer to this one. I kind of want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Okay.
Yeah.
So this question is, what makes Wigglytuff's fur so luxurious, and what is the evolutionary advantage of this? Basically, I want to know more about this fur. I want to know how it can create fur that's so soft and supple and dense, and why this is beneficial to its survival. Corbin, I see you're still writing your answer. Is there anything I can help you out with? Any questions that you have?
Shut up and let me focus.
Whoa. Okay. That's pretty rough.
I got this.
Here.
Nope, I got it. Yeah. No, I appreciate that.
I just want you to know I'm a...
Listen, Mr. Professor, sir, I appreciate your help. But I need you to shut up and let me do this.
It's actually Dr. Professor.
Okay, Dr. Professor, sorry.
Dr. Professor Jacob.
Boom! Let's go.
Okay. All right. Finally, all of the answers are in. Okay, I'm gonna read Corbin's first. In case you forgot, the essay question was, what makes Wigglytuff's fur so luxurious, and what is the evolutionary advantage of this? Corbin responded with, Wigglytuff's fur is so luxurious because it depends on human protection and training in order to survive. What do I mean? Well, I'll tell you. Wigglytuff is not a fighter, and it only inflates when trying to intimidate foes. That's true. It didn't really say much about fighting. It did mention a body slam, but that's about it. In the wild, they're rare because of moonstone evolution, and many are hunted due to their vulnerability. All right? I mean, that's pure assumption. That's not verified, but okay.
Hey.
That's what I asked for.
That's what you asked for.
The fluffiest Wigglytuffs are typically captured or taken by trainers and rich folks, where they are more protected and have better chance of survival. It's luxurious due to how much fur it has. When it expands, the fur expands with it? Well, no, wait, hold on. So it has a ton of fur. So when it's regular size, all that fur is condensed to a smaller, denser amount, thus resulting in a thick coat. Okay, so you're saying that evolutionarily, it's designed to be able to expand. It knows it's going to expand to that like super big,
right? Because
size.
It can keep expanding, its fur expands with it. It's not like it expands and it has like the same small amount of fur. Then the rest of it's just its skin expanding. It expands
it's
and it has all that fur. So when it's normal sized, it's just like all that fur that can expand is just in coats, just all bundled up in a smaller 3-foot version. So it's basically really dense, really soft.
So, okay, I'm sorry. Was that your answer to what makes it so luxurious, or was that your answer to the evolutionary advantage?
That was my answer. So I kind of flipped it. So my second part about it's luxurious due to how dense it is and expands, that was my answer to why it's luxurious. The first part was evolutionarily. I think the best Wigglytuffs with the best fur, evolutionarily, they've evolved because they've evolved to have better fur over time, because the ones that have the best fur get picked by trainers and rich people and other humans that want to take them in. Those that don't have the best fur and that did not evolve best fur usually get hunted because people don't want to take them in, and they're vulnerable in the wild.
So you think this is a human-driven evolution?
I think it's a human-driven evolution.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's go ahead. You know what?
Hey,
No, sorry, go ahead.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that thought process.
Thanks, Mr. Curtis.
Yeah,
Appreciate
pretty
that,
good.
my friend.
Full marks for you, Corbin.
Woo, full marks. Let's go.
All right. Let's read Curtis's. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Let me guess. It's like you think Wigglytuff's like a grape or something.
Wigglytuff's fur is actually so luxurious because it is actually overcompensating.
What?
Willingly Tuffs are actually living their twilight years and feel inadequate compared to their glory days, traveling the world as Jigglypuffs, singing for large crowds. Now they can't sing as well. They work tirelessly to make their fur as soft and fluffable as possible to keep the few die-hard fans they have left.
Okay.
Just like they say, the higher the climb, the farther the fall. The better the Jigglypuff singer, the softer the fur as a Wigglytuff.
Oh.
This is especially important for survival and therefore evolution, because we all know what happens to Jigglypuffs who can't sing, or Wiggly Puffs that aren't soft. Wigglypuff isn't a Pokemon; it's a Wigglytuff.
It's wrong. Whole answer's wrong.
So it's not a Wigglypuff. So Jigglypuffs who can't sing, or Wigglypuffs that aren't soft, they die because no one loves them and feeds them. Okay.
I mean, that's kind of related to what I said a little bit, but a little bit. But what he's saying is that Jigglypuffs are loved by people because of their voice. But when Wigglytuffs evolve and lose that, so they have to make up for their lack of love by creating really, really dense fur so people will love them and take them in, because now they don't have a voice anymore.
That's right. By making their by making their fur as soft and fluffable as possible.
It's like when a famous singer, gets old and then gives up and just makes their own like clothing line. They're like, I need to stay relevant somehow, so I'm gonna make clothes now.
Like Justin Barbarrel.
Justin Barbarrel?
Barbarrel, yeah. Barbarrel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know him. I don't know him.
You know him? Yeah.
No.
His favorite Pokemon was Bidoof's evolution, Barbarrel. So he named himself Justin Barbarrel.
He named himself. Okay.
Well, like that's a stage name.
The only singer named Justin that I know is Justin Timber.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you're saying that it's a choice. It's a choice made by Wigglytuffs, and not necessarily like an evolutionary thing. Mm-hmm. But the choice itself is an evolutionary choice, and that they're all inclined to make it, I think is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
So you know what? You guys, your answers are both, fairly close, but I think they are different enough for me to say full marks to both of you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very
nice
good,
work.
interesting ideas. I was kind of thinking you guys were maybe gonna go more of like this is their preferred diet, and because they eat this kind of often, it makes them.
Nah, that would have been so easy. Think outside the box, Professor.
I know,
Come on.
I guess so. So yeah, I'm glad neither of you guys took that route. All right, so that does it for today's pop quiz. You both did excellent. Corbin, you did slightly less excellent than Mr. Curse, but that's okay. That's to be expected.
Well, shit.
So yeah, hey, does anybody know what Pokemon we're going to be talking about next time?
Ooh, Growlithe.
Ooh.
Nope, not Growlithe.
Diglett.
No, I mean, those are Pokemon primarily from the Kanto region, and we'll talk about them eventually.
Oh, what's that one Pokemon? That's what's it called? Rough Bark? Rough?
No,
Rockruff.
Rockruff.
No. That's. We'll get to Rockruff in a couple 100 weeks.
Okay. Bidoof.
No, none of you are getting it. Hey, this is that Pokemon that, you're walking around at nighttime or you stumble into a cave, right? And it's that Pokemon that's always gonna be there. All right?
Oh,
Geodude.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Geodude.
Okay, you like Geodude, but more abundant.
Oh, okay. Caterpie.
What's
But abundant in caves.
Rattata?
Okay, you guys suck. It's Zubat. We're learning about Zubat next week. Yeah.
I think one of us said that.
I can only assume its category is the annoying Pokemon. Let me just double check that. No, it's the bat Pokemon, believe it or not.
Oh, well, same thing.
Yeah. But yeah, that does it for today's lesson. So, of course, if you have any questions for me, the professor, you can Gmail me at my Gengar mail, which is wwopokemon@gmail.com. If you don't have a Gmail, if you don't have a Gengar mail, that's fine. You can contact me via the Flying Pokemon themed social network site, which is, of course, Twitter. You can find me there at wwopokemon as well. If you love this class and you want more classmates, if you want more people to help you out with your homework, that's fine. The best way to do that is to rate us on Flapple Podcast. You may know it as Sable iTunes, but they recently did a change, so now it's Flapple Podcasts. You'll be able to find it, I promise. And give us a rating there. But that does it for today's lesson. So until next time, class is dismissed.
Welcome to the World of Pokemon is a part of the Pokecasters Network.